Oh, hi, it's Valerie Ling here. Greetings, everybody. I just wanted to jump on before I finish today, just to straight up give you the heads up on what's going to be happening in this feed and the social media platforms. I'm really splitting now my focus to two areas. The burnout work, Resource Me, which I've been sharing with you, which apparently the link was broken for a little bit, but we've fixed it now. Resource Me, this year is the last year that I'll be delivering the program as it is, which is to run it live. So that's on the one hand, and that is largely because burnout has now become such a pervasive issue that the burnout work is actually going to be streamlined and infused now into the bread and butter work that the Center for Effective Living, which is the psychology practice that I lead, and the Center for Effective Serving, which is the workplace well-being space that I lead, is going to be infused into there. So if you are thinking about working with me, not in person, but to work with me, as opposed to only engaging with me in a recording, live in a group setting online. Resource Me, that's starting next week, will be the only time this year, and actually, very sadly, the last time I will run this program, which was created in 2018, and I've run it a couple of times a year, and this will be the last time I run it live. It will be available for purchase. It already is as a standalone self-study course on the effectiveserving.com.au website. You can access it, but this will be the last time. So point one, the burnout work in terms of Resource Me is the last time. All of dare I say, the research, the learning, and the cultivation of the materials will be infused into the two businesses that I lead. The other thing is I will also be shifting my focus for the next foreseeably 24 months. There are some people that have been on my heart that have been really causing me to pause and think, what will be the consequence if we actually lose this segment of the population to exhaustion because of, I'm sorry to talk about it, but because of the pandemic. And that population group, there are two population groups largely that concern me. Hello, Kim. Yes, it is you. Age has got me. I cannot find my glasses. Here's the thing. You need to wear your glasses because of age, but also because of age, you lose your glasses and you don't know where it is. And really, to put an air tag on your glasses is just a little bit ridiculous. So I do believe it is you, Kim. So the group of people that I'm really, really concerned about at this moment are leaders in my industry, which is health, allied health, and are just worried that they're going to go under during this time without resourcing. And so for the next 24 months, you will find that my feed will be broadcasting support. Mine are always on my face. Yeah, no. They definitely are not on me. Sometimes this happens, but anyways, I don't know where it is. Private practice leaders, they're the ones that are owning the health businesses at this point in time. So I apologize, but I don't apologize. If you are used to tuning into me for burnout, my channels do still exist. On YouTube, you will find me. All of my material in the burnout space is still on YouTube and still in podcast form. It's called Dr. Burnout. You can find me, but you will find that more and more my content is moving now towards really supporting leaders. Predominantly in my coaching world for the next 24 months at least, is to support as many, and there's not that many that I can support, probably about 5 health private practice leaders to get through this tough season so that they don't go under. Why? Because it's a systemic issue, right? I was just on a conference call with, if you like, an employer, a medical advisor, a national director, and a staff, if you like, putting a well-being plan into place and asking, it was in a different state, what are your wait times like for a psychiatrist? And I was told 12 months. And we needed to put, therefore, quite a different strategy around this person because of wait times. And it is my deepest, it will be my deepest sense of loss if we lose my people, my profession, because they don't survive. And we need one another. There's a whole host of early careers, mid-level seniors needing us to survive. So you will find that in the next 18 to 24 months, that will be my focus. That doesn't mean that you won't still get benefit from me. ValerieLing.com is a place you can subscribe to my newsletter. I will still very much share, what's happening in my world in the burnout space and things like that. So the summary is, the social media channels will start to, once Resource Me, my burnout work finishes up this year, we'll shift towards talking about leadership. You can still glean lots of interesting things from the leadership space. Stay in touch with me, ValerieLing.com, via newsletter if you want to hear more of the tidbits about what I do in my personal life. Okay, so the game has changed. Let me get to the actual material of what I wanted to talk about. So what I've been doing today is I've talked, like I said, I've done a workplace well-being strategy session. I've also been talking to a senior leader in the aged care sector. I've also been looking at our own practice in terms of how our people are doing. And of course, I've been looking at some of the in our practice, what's happening. And why I say that the game has changed is because it doesn't seem to matter now where we talk and engage people. Here's what's happening. Mental health is suffering because of a domino effect, because of what's happening in our personal lives, the stress, it's impacting where we're going to work. Our physical health is compromised, in our immunity. Oh gosh, it sounds horribly so sad. It is. We have to embrace what is happening. Our physical health and our immunity systems are impacted. And of course, our focus is also deeply impacted. So you've got all aspects of being human being deeply impacted during this time. And there's a level of, human beings are interesting creatures, right? When we feel under-resourced, when we don't feel well, we have different reactions. Some of us will be anxious. Some of us will be angry. Some of us will numb. Some of us will be sad. These range of emotions and reactions, because we're under-resourced, will come to the fore. And then we interact with colleagues, friends, and family in this really under-resourced way. And it can be quite hurtful or damaging, or you just don't feel like yourself, and your relationships start to feel like they're coming undone. And so while burnout used to be talked about more as an energy mechanism, so the degree to which you're pouring yourself out is impacting your energy tanks, over the last 3 years, because of an ongoing pandemic with uncertainty, where government structures and external forces have impacted our ability to have choice, and we are calculating, we're being measured in the way that we're interacting with one another because of all of these deeply unnatural forces that have come into us. It's not just our energy, it's also our physical health and our focus, our mental capacity as well. So what I would like to share with you now is to remember capacity and capability now may not be at the same level, right? Capacity and capability may not be at the same level. What do I mean by that? I may have a typical capability because I've been on this planet for 47 years, and in general, I've been able to do a job till about 5 o'clock, 5 days a week, cook, do the housework. And so my capability to do all of those things may not have changed, maybe. but my capacity to do them has probably changed because of my energy, my physical status, and my focus. My capacity. I may run out of steam by 2 o'clock. I may actually be horizontal for most of Sunday and not be able to do the housework. So my capability and my capacity have actually gone slightly, not quite in sync with one another. And perhaps that is what you're experiencing as well. Conversely, you may have your capability has gone on for some of us who may be experiencing long COVID. And for those of us who are in carer situations or in professions like aged care that I spoke about, even the pharmacists that I've been speaking to, can you imagine that for pharmacies let's say in shopping centers or, in suburban life, right? Retail was probably like a little happy space you could go to while you were dispensing, medication for some of the harder things in life. I love going to pharmacies, don't you? Like, oh, they've got, the gifts, and, I've got this thing for teacups and teapots, and, they often have these teacups and things like that. Retail was like the happy, hopeful space. Well, guess what? Boom, COVID comes. They dispense rats. They're the people with the masks. Demand supply issues, vaccines. They've got to, do vaccines, and flu medication becomes like at the next level, and then asthma medication. So, even pharmacists have just gone, the retail space for them has even just gone completely, supply demand type things. Do you see what I mean by my capacity and capability? Oh, yes. So, your capability may also be impacted with long COVID, or just the fact that you've been in extreme stress or things like that. And so your memory, your concentration, the ability to get words from brain to mouth may also be impacted. And that can be confronting, right? Who of us likes to think that our capability has actually decreased? And so you may have a situation where your capability has also decreased. Your functioning has decreased a little bit, right? And then if both capability and capacity goes down, that's the issue. So while burnout typically was about, really resourcing capacity, resting, bringing energy levels up, negotiating your workspaces to see if you could replenish capacity through meaning and purpose, clearer work descriptions and things like that. In this climate, we've got capability and capacity in flux, sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes ongoing. And so it is tricky. I don't want to say it's desperate. I'm going to say it's tricky, right? Because human beings are adaptable. We can adapt. It's going to take us a while to adapt. And so all the more doing some work with someone to actually figure out your capacity and capability in terms of coming up with your baselines and refiguring out what your new needs are, your new normal is, even to the level of what conversations you might need to have with family, workplace. What can you say yes to? What can you say no to? What is realistic? All of those scoping, mapping, it's really hard to do by yourself. Don't work with me if you don't want to. That's okay, but please work with somebody. If at this stage of the game it's resonating with you, capability, capacity, things are in flux, can't get a sense of where the straight road is now to coping, then you can't do this by yourself. Don't do this by yourself, right? It helps to have someone to journey with you and walk with you to recalibrate that. Why? Because we will feel bad about ourselves. We feel like we're going to disappoint people, and we're going to feel like, we have to get back to what we were before, and we're going to push through, right? My thumbs are a classic example of this, right? I've pushed through so much with these two little thumbs, beyond pain, beyond fatigue, that hopefully my Amazon delivery has come, because I couldn't find the brace anywhere in my pharmacies. Sorry, retail is under pressure, supply demand, that I needed help. The physio needed to say to me, what are you doing? Why have you been doing this? And like, isn't that normal? Isn't it normal to have like these blue blacky type things and just feel a little stiff? Isn't that age? No, it's not normal. This is not normal. You need help. Right here. So the bottom line is capacity, capability has shifted. The game has changed. Don't do this by yourself. If you don't want to work with me, that's okay. It's all good, but do seek help from somebody. Okay, that's me now, Valerie Ling, signing off, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I love getting your responses, and I don't mind being challenged if we do it respectfully. Okay, take care.